Welcome to the SledHead podcast. I'm your host, Brody Bass, and I got my partner in crime as always, Jeff Fisher. How are we doing, Jeff?
Hey, we're doing great, Brody.
Awesome. Well, how are you doing? How's everything going on your end?
Keeping busy. We're getting ready for snow. We're getting our new sleds in and getting excited about a few inches of snow we've got on the ground here in Minnesota.
Awesome. I'm excited. There's snow. It's starting to happen. There's people, starting to ride, and just a matter of time now. But now
That's
on this episode we do have a special guest with us on the line. We got the man, Dan Adams. How are we doing, Dan?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for jumping in with us, Dan. That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Man, I've had a crazy summer, man. It's been 2020. I think we can all relate to just honestly a bunch of scattered feelings at this point. Work was really good, busy as all get out through the summer biz. Many people know I work in the asphalt industry, and I've got such a black and white business plan, as I kind of joke with people, that I run a snowmobile business in the winter, and then I'm all things asphalt, so working on the blacktop all summer long. And COVID-19, man, it's a real thing, and it's been definitely, we see the effects of it. I live in Alpine, Wyoming, and have for a number of years, and it's such a small little area. I know both you guys have been through there, and it's one of those types of towns, I say, that you can, it's so small you can hold your breath and get through, from one end of it to the other.
Yeah.
But we've been kind of socially distanced our whole lives out there, but the effects of it have been pretty crazy, man. I've had somewhat of a rocky summer. I lost my dad on August 1st, and not due to COVID, just other complications, but it's crazy. So it's been definitely a summer and then into the fall, but I'm anxious for winter. I'm anxious to get 2020 kind of over with and see what the future holds. But just been getting prepped for the season, guys, just like you guys.
No,
exactly.
We can't wait. We're excited. We're I see that it's starting to snow in some areas of the country. It's probably snowing out west a little bit, and we're just excited.
Talking about snow, guys, I got a FaceTime audio from the man himself, Chris Barant, and he's FaceTime videoing while riding down at Matt Entz's place down in Wolf Creek, Colorado today. So he's out ripping a 2021 chaos, and the guy's got he knows how jealous we're going to be. So he's just FaceTime videoing and saying how sorry he is that, that we're not there. And you could just hear it in his voice that he's just rubbing it in, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I suppose it's Matt Enns is with you, isn't he, right now?
Oh, he's with me. Oh, yeah.
So he's not even down there.
Yeah, we're like stuck in a hotel room when he's doing this, and telling Matt, like, sorry that I'm kind of in your home turf. It was pretty funny.
Coaching all his areas up, yeah.
Yep.
So, no, that's cool.
No,
stepping back a little bit there, Dan, we've always, when I first knew you, you were always known as Sledneck Dan because you were the guy in the early Sledneck videos.
Yep.
When did that all come about, or how that all happened?
Well, Sledneck started, 1997, 98 is kind of that time frame when, gosh, guys, my first sled was a 1996 Polaris Ultra, and it's just awesome, right, to think back on what I started on versus what we're building now and what we're riding. It's crazy to see how much that's changed. But, back then, guys, I was a snowboarder. I bought a sled, purely as a chairlift to just get out into the backcountry, get away from, the long lift lines and just all the populated areas and just get into the backcountry. And little did I know at the time that, sooner or later the snowboard was going to get put away. And I just started reading terrain and riding my snowmobile, much like I was riding my snowboard, and started getting really comfortable with it. And Sledneck starting when it did, and was just sort of an outlet for myself and a few others to, just showcase, hitting jumps and dropping cliffs and trying to do freestyle moves like the moto guys and everything else. And so Sledneck, when it started, just seemed, kind of fitting that Sledneck Dan would be the, sort of the words that I would, put together, and it's stuck ever since. And so, lots of reasons to thank Sledneck and in terms of my career and how I got started. Everybody always asks, like how that happened and how I got started in the snowmobile industry. And honestly, it started with Sledneck. It started with making the films. And I mean, if you'd asked me that many years ago, fellas, that, you know, this is where I would end up being, you know, I would have never thought that was possible. And all I can say to anybody out there listening, it takes a ton of work. I mean, I'm 45 years old. I've been in the snowmobile industry for a humongous chunk of my life, and without any time off. It's just been a nonstop type of a thing, working with companies and developing a business and, you know, trying to do all these things. So Sledneck Dan has stuck with me for a lot of years. It's how I got my connection with Polaris, and then with Polaris, along with a slew of other partners, you know, it's how we were able to develop Next Level Riding Clinics. And, you know, that started in 2008. It's so crazy for me to think that, you know, we're going on basically like that 13th season where we're just teaching clinics, we're teaching Avi classes, and, you know, I'm getting to kind of create turn a passion into a job. But I mean, then there's a lot of people that disagree with that. But to be honest with you, I look at the alternatives of what I maybe could be doing, and, you know, riding a snowmobile for a living is pretty awesome.
No, that is cool. You know, and getting to your clinic, as an average consumer wanting to get involved, I mean, they can go on your Next Level website and get involved. But as a person coming out there to ride, what can they expect to learn or do going through one of your clinics?
Yeah, so Next Level, you know, it's pretty crazy, Jeff. I mean, honestly, the curriculum, just since I started, all the way up until, you know, what we plan to do and what our kind of goals are for, you know, this next season. It's really about, you know, taking people, whether they're brand new to the sport or they've got some experience and they've just got difficulty doing certain techniques. Really all it is just all of the little things, all of the tiny little fundamentals, the tricks, the tips, the things that, you know, as a rider, it seemed like it took me a while to truly get comfortable and then truly kind of dissect the sport enough to where I had, you know, enough of, well, what we had built into a curriculum, but enough ideas to share with other people where we could kind of fast track that process. And so along with, you know, trying to build, you know, confidence in riders and teach them, like, you know, what we'd call like the art of, you know, counter steering and, you know, doing much of the things that I know you guys know what I'm talking about in terms of being able to ride a sled off trail and really manipulate this, well, at times 500 and something pound to a lot of people, like a hide-a-bed couch. I mean, they're just, when you don't know what you're doing, you know, and you're muscling it, which most guys do, you know, we just sort of manhandle these things. And to find out that there is a better way and that there is a technique to all of this, you know, that's the steps in Next Level. And so calling it Next Level Riding Clinics, you know, did I know as we started that we would have the return clientele we do and, you know, a lot of those things? And the answer is I didn't. Like, it started as this idea, and it really has turned into a real thing where we're, you know, teaching 18 to 20 riding clinics a season. I've been to Russia 6 times teaching Next Level over in Russia. I've got riders from all over the world that have been through my little town there in Alpine. And it's really developed into, you know, what I would like to think is one of the best sources for learning how to ride, you know, a mountain snowmobile, having a full retail space where we sell a lot of gear, a lot of Avalanche related products, and we have a rental program. I would say, I mean, on an average for where I live, having 100,000 people through the store throughout any given season, depending on the snow year, is not uncommon. I think that we end up with a ton of people that kind of come through and use Next Level as a resource. So.
That's
going in there, there's always somebody in the store. Whenever we're in town, there's always somebody there. Yeah, including us getting some kind of gear we need.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to meet my wife, Irina. Irina has been she's been the backbone. She's literally been the behind the scenes reason for the website, the retail space, the customer service. Everybody has this illusion that, you know, it's ran by this kind of massive team of people, and it's literally just a couple of us that have just really put a bunch of time and energy into what it is. And it's great. It's moving along just the way we want it to, and it's created a lot of successes, and it's certainly been, you know, it's been something really fun in terms of, partnerships and people that have been a part of what I have done. It's been that development, to see that grow has been really cool.
No,
Yeah, no, it's it is cool, and just seeing how it's progressed over the years. Yeah, everybody. I've had friends and clients that have gone through your class, and they've always gotten a lot out of it. So it's a cool thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
yes, no.
But yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Then going in now that you've been Polaris quite a few years. What have you seen come from them? Like we were talking about your first Polaris to what we're riding now as Polarises. I mean, it's. I mean, I guess even it's tough to even categorize. But even over the years, you've seen the changes that these sleds have made, and getting us in areas, so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's with the changes in technology, and it's kind of across the board because obviously I ride for Polaris, but we teach, and as a business, we certainly offer and cater to just every manufacturer. But across the board, snowmobiling has kind of had one goal, and that's, developing these snowmobiles that are easier to ride. And so over the years, that's certainly what we have seen in terms of, either it's, the existing rider that's kind of got and has an idea of how to ride and what to do and has that sort of fundamental background. But then the new rider that really doesn't know much about it, man, how fortunate are they that their first experiences on sleds are what we all kind of, we've been hoping for a number of years. And there's some of this hope that's out there that I don't even think we knew like what we were hoping for. It just came out.
Yeah.
You start riding it and you're just like, I would not have known that the Axis chassis was just such, undoubtedly a better chassis than the Pro chassis. And then you go back into the day from the Dragons and you just think back to what we were riding. And man, if you guys ever want to take a blast from the past, rip up a side hill, jump on something that's that much older and you just see what we were. And I can remember back in the day saying to myself, like, this is it. This is as good as this product is ever going to be. And I am so happy with it. And then, here we go into the next year and the next year. And then we have a big chassis change and it just keeps getting easier. And so the sleds have certainly helped my job. And what it's also done, Jeff, is it's changed the way we even look at the landscape, like the environment to us. And what I used to think was backcountry riding and where my comfort zone was to what it is now, holy smokes, have things changed. Like what the snowmobiles have all of a sudden made so dang capable that what we once thought was this never going to happen is now this is just the trail ride to get into where we're going to go find the good stuff.
Well, yeah. And yeah, you've seen what's changed over the years. I mean, I'll date myself. My first time in the mountains was on a 81 Polaris Indy 500 triple, IFF triple. If you could just imagine how many times we were stuck with those.
Oh,
yeah, yep, certainly.
We thought phasers were great, and the phaser used to be a great mountain sled.
Grew up on paddles, man. Oh yeah.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, now you look at it and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
I've been spoiled.
That's
I've been 5 years with SledHead. I've ridden my whole life. Never missed a winter, but this about 5 years ago was my first time going out west, and I was spoiled. I got to hop on, the newest technology at the time, and it was just, it's great. I was like, I could go anywhere, and I didn't have to, but I can only imagine when you guys were going through back in the day, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The sleds have turned around. And get to these new sleds, and I know you always have a lot of builds.
I do.
Yep. I mean, what's some of the new builds you have going on? Anything you can tell us about your new stuff?
So for this year, I'm super impressed with the Chaos. And lots of questions of why Chaos. And for me, the experiences that I've had on the Chaos as a 155 were all fantastic. And then towards the tail end of last season, as we launched the new product for 21 and we were able to get on a 163 or 65 Chaos, you take the full fun factor of the Chaos and add, a bit more of that deep snow capability to it. You kind of get the best of all things. Like I honestly, guys, I don't mind kind of a wily snowmobile. I think they're a lot of fun when you're uphill and you're seeing all these features in the snow that you can get some good sled lift and maybe it'll come around on you and do like a pirouette or any of this stuff that you guys are kind of seeing. I mean, snowmobiling has turned into this off camber gymnastics. Like everything is just not just what the power of the machine is offering, but going along and being able to do these quick, hop overs or hop unders or transitions and just all that stuff. And admittedly, it's turning the sport into where there's like, I mean, my gosh, man, we're really testing the limits of not just the snowmobile, but then our bodies as well. And it's made it a lot of fun. And so the chaos is kind of this development of a lot of cool things. You've got deep snow capability, you got tons of power, you got a real easy front end. And the other part of this is that the way Polaris sort of markets and sort of that target audience, it's like there's not everybody has to attack the mountain the way you see, these unreal riders like Caleb Kosterky and some of these guys that are out there where, they're all about the chaos too. But, what needs to get out there as well is that to the new rider, and this is why my entire fleet this year is the chaos, both just in stock form and then what sleds that I'll build into, well, we'll call them the Chaos 2.0s because I do have some builds up my sleeve that'll be a lot of fun. And most of that, more than just big horsepower games, guys, it's just you could have seen like the craze of the lightweight game, and that's a lot of the stuff that I do. But the beginner rider riding a Chaos, whether it's a 55 or a 65 or 63, and it's crazy how many track lengths and numbers and all this stuff that we have. But having that lightweight front end, having that, I think it sounds kind of cliche if I say the words instantaneous lift because it's just so right from the Polaris handbook. But to be honest with you, you give it gas, and that's exactly what's happening. So as the new rider, when you're experimenting with counter steering and trying to get that snowmobile on its side and trying to hold it on its side and all those things, there's things about, there's things about a Polaris snowmobile, but there's things that are really like truly kind of, defining what the chaos is, in my opinion, where I teach a lot of beginner riders. I think that there's a myth out there that all we do, Chris and I, every day, we just go out and we ride with riders that are sort of at our level and we just get paid to snowmobile. And that's not even close to the truth. We are riding with people that it's either their first time or they've been riding for years, but they've never really experienced off-trail riding. And so having snowmobiles that are kind of geared towards, making that experience that much better, the Chaos really does fit the bill, and it fits it really well for what I do. But the twin pipes, the lightweight Zollinger rotating mast kits, the Ice Age conversions for the 155, you guys have seen the short tunnel craze, all of the stuff that's out there. I mean, that's all stuff that I'm right in the middle of it as well. So I've got a couple of Chaos builds that'll be twin pipes, lightweight stuff. I've got one that'll be a Next Tech skid. Obviously, you guys see the Next Level Skins line of products. So, kind of outfit those out there and finish it off with the Arctic FX wraps. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of par for the course. I think most people know what they're going to see from Barrett and I, just in terms of getting excited about the build season. And it's certainly one of our favorite parts of this time of year is just kind of showcasing our ideas, our colorways, and just, obviously at the end of the day, the end result is making snowmobiling that much easier. And yeah, that's what I'll leave it at.
Yeah, cool. No, yeah, excited to see some of your stuff. I know you always have pretty unique names for all your sleds as well.
It's so much fun. It's actually pretty difficult. Some years a name just lands in your lap and you just know what it is and you're just like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what my sled's going to be. And then some years you're kind of fighting. So we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of little names, I know we were talking, earlier when I've been out riding with you and some of your guides, you guys always have little cliches for how the day is going as per salad. So tell me a little bit that people kind of, I was trying to explain that to somebody and they kind of looked at me funny, but I said it was so hilarious to hear the guys going back and forth on the radio.
Yeah, I don't think the looks will ever go away, Jeff. I think that it's when I'm because I kind of am the leader, whatever, and we when we're in an area and we'll ride to a certain spot and then I'll have a couple of clients that made it to wherever we are and then we'll wait there for a second and then sooner or later over the radio I'll hear from one of my guys and, hey, hang on a minute, and I'll be like, okay. And I'm like, well, so what's happening back there? And then that's when they'll start, folding out these names of like, well, it's a bit of a salad back here. And then I would stop and we would do this, in front of the clients. They've got their helmets off by this time and they're just kind of listening in. And we keep a straight face, which is kind of fun because you're just like, oh, it's a salad. All right. And then I'm like, so is it a house salad? Is it one that you just get with dinner or is it something that is it a salad bar type thing? And then if so, like, I mean, is this is it a Caesar? Was it, so then we'd go into the ingredients, and I'd be like, was there croutons? Are there, what type of dressing? And then as people kind of started buying into what's happening here in terms of like, okay, there was a pretty massive, either a big stuck fest down below, or maybe somebody's got to cut a tree down or do something, right? And that was all kind of relative to the ingredients of the salad with with the taco salad, with like the sour cream and all the other jazz. Like that's when I knew that I'm actually got to go back.
You better go back.
And there's a big mess on our hands. And once clients started kind of realizing what we were doing, it just get them to laugh. And so much about what I try to do out there is, guys, I am just as much of an entertainer as I am, a guide or considered a coach. And it's because you're trying to, at the end of the day, we're doing something that we really, really love to do. And the people that are out there with you, you are, there are times when you're serious and you want them to really focus on what it is that they're doing. But, the other part of that is that, we do have to concentrate and kind of put the capital letters on fun, because that's ultimately what you want that experience to be. And so having fun and interacting with them and having my guys, and we just kind of joke at each other, and just, for me, I kind of show a little bit of that sense of humility, that I'm not afraid to be stuck in front of people or have them take a picture of me with my sled tipped over or something like that. It shows just that we're just out there as just guys that like to snowmobile, and we get to do it as a job. And part of our throughout the day is we're just really just showcasing that if you do stick to it and you do like make this, you put some try in your diet and you make this kind of a priority in your life, that you will grasp this sport, and you will gain those fundamentals, and then you'll start looking at the environment, looking at, mountains the way we do, where we're not riding through the trees, and like, I'm not telling myself where I need to be on the sled. I'm not like literally whispering to myself that my finger should be on the brake or I should be giving it enough gas, because it's all a feeling. And I know you two know what I'm talking about. You just kind of plug into the sled, and it's just a feeling. And the end goal, if I had any for anybody that was coming to the next level, was that's ultimately what I'd want, is that for a day that those guys, every one of them, they grasp the sport enough and they have enough confidence that they can just, grab that snowmobile and kind of go where they want to go. And I think that's what makes the snowmobile and the sport of it just so dang amazing.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, and that is what's cool about it. It's a bunch of guys with the passion, and you guys promote it so well. I mean, that's what's
we appreciate that.
Yeah, always fun to go riding with you guys and hang out. Yeah.
I think we need to do it more. That's for sure.
We do.
Yeah, I like that. You should. We should make that happen more often, guys. We oh man, I mean, if there's something about snowmobiling in the years that I've been doing it, beyond the sleds, beyond the riding area, beyond the trips, beyond the deep snow and the pow over the helmet and over the, all of those experiences, guys, the friendships and the relationships that I have made in this many years of doing it, has just been, I mean, those are the things that I get to take with me, right? Is just having such a crazy core group of people that we've all had sort of a common goal, and, life and business and where we all live and money and all these other things that I know just kind of, they get in the way or they delay the process, the friendships and the things that I have, with so many riders, so many companies, so many things. I mean, that part has been, I mean, I would have never thought that that's what, I would have maybe looked back on and really like cherished the most, but that's certainly what it is. So.
No, exactly. Just the people you get to meet. It's like we always say, going to these shows, or like Heydays, for instance, you're going to hang out with 50,000 of your closest friends, snowmobile talk,
Yeah. Well, Matt and I we're working with Climb and working with the Avalanche Alliance right now. And the Avalanche Alliance is this, this sort of startup organization it's bigger than us, it's bigger than Climb, it's bigger than anything. We're basically out there just, we're ambassadors to the sport. Matt and I are both, we've taken the workshops, we've been through the training, and so we're both, certified level 1 instructors, to take Avi courses. And the Avalanche Alliance is essentially an information hub that's out there, for people to go online and get information in their local areas of, how to take these, I would say, advanced Avalanche trainings. And so we've been on the road together, and it's been so much fun to share back and forth our experiences. Matt and I have been in we've been in parallel lives or parallel careers for the longest time, even though we live so dang far apart from one another. When we do get opportunities to hang out or ride or anything like that, the friendships that we have has just been, that part of it's been amazing. And Brant, kind of the same thing. And these are guys that I didn't grow up with. These are guys that we all met through the sport of snowmobiling, and it's stuff that we'll never forget. It's been awesome.
Cool. You're talking about your Avalanche courses. What's the biggest thing you want someone to take out of what you guys are talking about with the Avalanche awareness and that type of thing?
Yeah, certainly, Jeff. So what we're here to do is we're here to stress the idea of, continuing this education. So, it seems as if time and time again, we wait for some sort of tragic thing, some sort of, emotional bookmark in our lives before we're like, oh, wow, we should probably take that serious. And it certainly seems, and I don't have to tell you guys the seriousness and the tragedy behind, Rob Kincaid and just what had happened in the spring of the year last year, and just the way it happened, the events of it, and all those things. It seems like it's certainly sparked some interest into a lot of people to just say, man, if it's happening to the pros, it's happening to these guys that, like, no matter where you're at within the sport, if you're just getting started or you've been in it forever and you're an advocate for all of this stuff, this stuff can still happen. Yep. So our message as we tour around to these dealers, and we were just out on the Milwaukee show there, and we're out there basically spreading the importance of furthering your education. And the way we start out these hour and a half little conversations, I would call them, at these dealers, is that this is not an Abbey training, and that there is no way that Matt or myself would ever consider teaching an Abbey class indoors. There are segments of what you will learn in any one of these classes that it is in front of a screen, or you've got a PowerPoint and you're kind of going over things. But more of what we're after is the on snow training. There is nothing that replaces that, much like I would say to anybody in terms of learning from me watching the YouTube channel in terms of how to do any number of moves versus actually being there in your physical presence at a riding clinic. There's really no substitute for that. So the Abbey training on snow and learning how to actually use that equipment, all too often, right? You're at a dealership and you see people kind of sitting back, and you can tell that it's kind of registering, but they're just kind of giving you the nod that they understand, and you don't really know if you're actually getting into that person and making them realize just how important it is. And a great example, Jeff, is we were just at a dealer, and I was asking the question, can you assemble a set of probes like you assemble a tent stake? And you get people that are kind of looking around at one another. There's nobody that's really that sure of themselves, but most of them are sitting there saying, no, a tent stake is actually set up where it's like a cord in between, and you actually just seam those poles together, and the tension between there is what holds it together. And we all kind of know on the Abbey side of things that that's not how we assemble a set of probes. Mm-hmm. So you get a bunch of no's. Well, in that same evening, guys, I had a couple of people come up, and we were doing a race where we were getting our gear out and assembling them. And one of the guys, sure enough, as he opened up his backpack, pulls his probes out, and he's trying to put it together like a tent stake. So he has the gear, yeah, and he's just never really practiced with it. Yeah. And so our stress is just, getting people out there, making them aware that there is a website that exists, so they don't get to sort of throw the excuse that they didn't know where to go to attain this type of stuff. And it's get on one of these, one of these instructors lists and go take a level 1. And if you can, get your group to do the same thing, because establishing and learning all of these things at the same time is it's pretty crucial to having a good riding group.
Well, yeah, because you're only as good as the guy who's looking for you, right?
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Yep.
No, we're talking about those classes. Where are you guys headed next? Where are you guys? Where are you at right now, anyways? And
yeah, I'm talking to you guys from a hotel room in Boise, Idaho. We did an Avalanche seminar at Dennis Dillon, which is a magnificent, freaking huge dealership here last night, and then we spent the day kind of visiting a few people here, and then we've got another one this evening at Carl Cycle. So
very cool.
We are
say hi to Jack for me.
Yeah. So we're certainly excited about that, and we're just going to keep moving on. We'll leave from here. We'll head back into Idaho. We've got another one tomorrow night at Rexburg Motorsports, and then we're off for a day, and then back up into Kalispell, and then we get a little bit of a break, and then in November we've got a couple of events in South Dakota and a couple in North Dakota. And because of COVID, there was actually quite a few more stops that were on here. We were actually going to come out Minnesota way, and then there was a few in Colorado that because of I think state mandates and things like that, things got kind of shut down. So, but still ended up being quite the tour of getting out there and just trying to share the message. Cool.
Nope, that's awesome. That is very cool.
Yeah, it's perfect, guys. I really appreciate. SledHead, you guys. I think back to how many dang times we've all hung out and the things that we have done together. And you guys, in terms of being a resource for all things snowmobiling, it's pretty crazy. You guys have been around for a long, long time and always had just killer content, and just, the messaging has always been positive, and in such a tiny industry, it's just so important that, we're in some pretty crazy times. And so to me, it's really important to just continue to spread positivity. We're going to get out of this. Things are going to change. And I think there's a lot of people really looking forward to getting on their snowmobiles and getting into the backcountry. And I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, how much better place to social distance, right? Just leave me alone.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Dan, what else do you have planned? What's your plans this winter? Is there any exciting places you're going? I know it's not COVID and everything else, but anything else you can tell us that's going to be exciting coming your way this winter?
Yeah. We've got one thing that's crazy is because of COVID, we elected to just direct people towards doing a bunch of private classes versus sort of an open registration. So the first time in Next Level history, we were basically only hosting or holding private classes, and we're completely booked for the year. So we typically start clinics at the tail end of December, and then we just stack January and February, because I'm way more about the quality of snow than I am sort of stretching things out. So we work our butts off January, February, and then I've got a few little open holes in March, but through the core of my season and through most of my user days, we're booked. And that happens so rapidly this year that you can just tell, as I was just saying, how many people are just really anxious to get into the backcountry and go ride. So that part's really cool. But I do have a couple of trips to Colorado in December. One for the Climb backcountry team. We're headed down to Matt Ence's place, and we're going to go through a level 1 Avalanche course, because there are a few guys on the backcountry team that have not taken a level 1. So we're going to go down there, and this will be my third level 1 that I have been through, but I just wanted to go down there, support my teammates, and go through another level 1. There's when it comes to this type of training, guys, training and doing all of this and practicing with your equipment, practicing is never, ever going to make us perfect, but it is certainly going to make us more prepared. And that's something those are just sort of words that I live by. So I'll go down and do that, and hopefully get a little bit of riding in aside from just the training down there. And then I'll go down there again just prior to Christmas for some stuff I'm doing with Chris Brandt with Fox Shocks. So that should be a lot of fun. Anytime I get to ride with Chris, it's a learning experience, that's for sure. So I like doing that a lot. But then throughout the core of the money months, I am a snow farmer, and when duty calls, man, that's how I keep the lights on at Next Level. That's how we keep the whole train going through January, February. And then in the spring of the year, there's still talk of a lot of different things. I'm hopeful to get in and go down to Chile this next summer again with Chris. I'd gone there not this summer, but the summer past, and it's so amazing to go ride and just be in different areas. I've been able to put my snowmobile on its side in a lot of different places, man, and that's always a lot of fun. So I'm always looking forward to the trips. But obviously, guys, just like we were just saying, like with COVID and everything, we'll just have to see how all these things play out.
No, exactly. Yeah, hopefully it breaks here.
Yeah. We'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to get out, and hopefully we can all get together and it'd be.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of stuff, a lot of really fun things, a lot of meaningful things. I'll do another nominate your hero, sort of a veteran sled giveaway this year. We did the one last year. It was very special. We'll do it again. My message, guys, I've been doing this a long time. I'm very fortunate to have like the partnerships that I do with Polaris and Climb and Arctic FX and Fox and Starting Line and just down the list of all these guys. And every one of these people, when we talk about doing these giveaways to wounded warriors and veterans and things like that, they're just all about it. And the idea behind doing it and who these men and women are and these people are just, we dove into it really hard this last year. And of course, we're going to do it again. It's something that I think that you guys will see from Next Level each and every year. It's a very powerful, very special thing to do to some person that has spent a big chunk of their life trying to protect and keep the freedoms that we all at times take for granted. And so it's a really fun thing that we'll do. And you guys will see more on that as it develops. But yeah, besides that, man, just try to keep everybody safe, keep everybody healthy, keep my family intact, and go out and have some freaking fantastic days on the snow.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. And we're hoping that maybe sometime this winter we can make it out your way and we can have a little bit of a good time.
Let's do it, guys. Count on it.
Awesome. Well, so yeah, Dan, I think we've covered pretty much everything. But tell me, where can people find more information about you and your in your clinic?
Yeah, so for riding clinics, guys, just nextlevelclinics.com. The nicest thing about it, what we've worked really, really hard to do, and you guys can test it on your phones when we get off, is, when you type in snowmobile instruction. So I'm trying to be kind of that number one on your Google search, and we've done really, really well with it. It's funny, as I travel, I kind of test that myself just to see where we pop up. And instead of the days of business cards and things like that, I really like being able to tell people, hey, just search snowmobile instructions, and we're going to be the first one there. And so Next Level Clinics to get a hold of us for private clinics, Savvy classes. There's links to, all kinds of things, just lodging and alpine, the rental, the retail space, all of that. On Instagram, at Sledneck Dan, we'll bring that back around. And then obviously just Dan Adams at Next Level Riding Clinics on Facebook. But the new thing, guys, within about a year old, is the Next Level Riding Clinics YouTube channel. Getting people to jump on there. Obviously, the subscriptions are really, really important to us. It's crazy to see just the backbone of that, the analytics, just the amount of people that have reached out. I would easily tell you guys that establishing that page and continuing to just put out the videos that we are has probably been it's been the most gratifying, and in terms of metrics and just actually having a bunch of numbers behind what it is that we're doing, just how powerful that is. That's easily been one of the most amazing things that we have ever, put out there. And so the channel's been an awesome resource for a ton of people. At nearly every one of these dealer events or shows, I've had multiple people coming up just saying that they are just stalker watching the channel. And so it means that the material that we're putting out there and that sort of thing, that stuff's really, really working, and we're just getting started. We do about 27, 28 videos. We're trying to launch those things every Monday morning throughout the year. And your subscriptions are helpful, and it just lets us know that what we're doing is working. And it's been exciting, man. It's been a way that I get it, that because of money, family, time, COVID, travel, put the whole list out in front of you, that you can't always get out to Alpine and come through a course and what it looks like. So that's our next best thing, is being able to do that in a video series and answer a bunch of questions, reach out to a bunch of people. There's going to be prizes and giveaways and all that sort of thing. So the channel's been awesome.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, guys, check that out. Yeah.
Yes. No, keep it up, Dan. You're doing great.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Well, Dan, we appreciate your time and coming on and talking with us, and we love talking snowmobiles. And we are looking forward to possibly hopping on the snow with you this year.
All right, guys.